Hi guys, welcome to Share Your Story. We're here with
Vanessa Gomez, owner of Flow in the City.
who are you and what do you have here? What is this place?
Oh my God. Shit. Who am I? Like I said, my name is Vanessa Gomez. Where do I start? I'm a child of immigrants. My parents migrated here from Colombia in the 70s. They made their way to Flushing, Queens, New York. And while the majority of my family stayed in New York, my mom made her way south, and I was born in Miami. Um, Prior to Flow in the City, I worked in college sports for 10 years. And that career is actually what brought me out this way. I moved out here from Philly, which is the city that I've called home for the last 12 or 13 years now.
Portland, you traveled everywhere. You went to Miami, Philly, New York. I hear you started a business, and I just wanted to know, like, why Portland?
Well, when I first moved here, I moved to Eugene. I moved to Eugene from South Philly, which was quite the culture shock. But when I decided to leave college sports, I wasn't ready to go home yet. So I moved up here. And I moved up here knowing that I wanted to teach yoga, but I didn't really know what that meant in that moment. And so I moved up here and I just started hustling. I got 2 jobs. I was in yoga teacher training, and my goal, like I moved up here during the pandemic, August of 2020. So life was crazy.
Right.
But I knew that towards like the end of 2021, I wanted to at least start teaching in studios. And when I started doing that, I realized very quickly that there was something missing. And that something was belonging, particularly for the Black and Brown communities in Portland. And so that was really what spurred me opening Flow in the City, belonging. Like if we wanted to make it a short one answer, it's not just about representation, even though that's a big part of what we do here. It's about trying to make Portland feel like home, even though this might not be a place that a lot of us call home. Flow in the City can be a part of what makes this place feel like home for our communities.
Yeah.
Not just through movement, but through celebration of culture and community and connecting people. It has been such a blessing to see people become friends because of Flow in the City, for group chats to be developed and then plans to leave those group chats. And then I get to see it on like Instagram and I cry, you know. People have become roommates that they've met here, and that's just really what it's all about, like movement, yoga, Pilates, like that's just a small ounce of what we do here. This is a third place for a lot of people in the city, and I feel very blessed to be able to say that.
Yeah. And I've had to like look to attend some classes, which I loved. And just like you said, like I've even like the first time I came, I was like, oh. When I first walked in, I was like, oh, this is not a typical, yoga
You're not the
studio.
only.
Yeah, so it was a nice like change of scenery. You can literally feel that shift of you stepping into a more like hugged place. Like, this place you can tell it has love in it.
I appreciate that. I mean, we really want, when people walk into the door, particularly people from our communities, we really want them to feel loved on, not just seen and not just valued, but safe, and not just welcome, but celebrated. And that celebration comes through like so many cultural nuances, that we bring into this space, all of our instructors, all of our shared experiences, our lived experiences. And it's just such an honor to be able to bring that to life, because I feel like a lot of times in the wellness industry, we're kind of sold the notion that we have to give up our culture for the sake of health and wellness. We have to give up our cultural foods. We have to give up things that raised us. And I'm like, that's a part of who you are, and that's a part of what makes you well, right? And I think also too, we are the generation that get to choose what traditions we keep and what traditions we let go of. And I think that that's also very powerful.
Has anything you accomplished kind of touched that younger side of yourself? Maybe it was like you reaching a point in your life where you're like, this is what I dreamed of, or maybe it was like your younger self kind of like, I'm never going to do this, and you did it anyways kind of situation.
Um, I think a little bit of both. I never thought that I would own a yoga studio. When I was 15 and I was in high school, I did have the vision of owning a business. Basically, the concept that I came up with was like modern day Equinox. But somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was myself or if it was teachers or whomever, I convinced myself that I would fail and I wouldn't be good at it. And so then I just went to school and got my degree in something completely different. And so to think that 15 years later, I decided to make the jump and do the thing that I said I was going to do when I was a kid. It's like, wow, it's like it's kind of a full circle moment. But I've learned so much about myself since embarking on this journey. Like, I put on a good ass event, and I would have never told you that I'm an event planner, an event manager, know like how to conceptualize, let alone execute an event. But I put on a dope ass event. I'm not gonna lie. I'm proud of myself for that. Girl, we took over a helipad. When I think about that, I'm like, wow, we really did that. And it wasn't just me, like, community stood behind that. And I was really scared at first. I'm like, would people even buy into this? Or would they just think I'm crazy? And as soon as I like pitched to everyone that I wanted to partner on the event, they were like, what? That's fire. I'm in. No questions asked. They didn't even talk about money yet. They were like, we're in. We don't even care what it takes. We're in. And to see that conceptualized and to see how well it's, and I was just like, I never in my life would have thought that I would be able to do that. And we have video proof that we did it and have done it multiple times and are gonna do it again. Right. Yeah, it's just, I think being on this journey has stretched me in a way that I've never been stretched. And it's sometimes very devastating, but also very, very rewarding.
Is there anything that almost made you quit and
Girl,
stop?
all the time. This is hard. This is hard work. I think social media paints business ownership as this like pretty little package of like, you announce this thing and you're gonna make $100,000 and you're gonna get 10K followers. And for some people that might be the case. That hasn't been my journey. This shit has been hard. It's been, because at the end of the day, like I was literally crying this past Friday in Bible study about it. I want to quit. I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. The reality is I have an amazing team. All of the women who teach here, on top of being like 10 toes down the best instructors in the city, they are the salt of the earth and they are supportive and they are talented and they are just incredible in their own right. But at the end of the day, Flow in the City falls on my shoulders. I don't have a business partner. I don't have investors. I'm not a Nepo baby. I don't come from money. Both of my parents have passed on and they didn't have anything to leave me. I'm quite literally getting this out the mud.
I didn't know. First off, I'm so sorry for your loss. I don't know if I can say that.
It's okay. It's been a long time for one, not so long for the other. I was raised in a single parent household. My father wasn't really around, but my mother died when I was 21, so I was a senior in college. She died on Thanksgiving Day. And then my father passed away in February of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how did you manage that process in that whole time period of even just trying to even continue to build up yourself while you have, all these devastating events going on? And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
God, prayer. I hate to be preachy, but I hit rock bottom and he really lifted me up. I couldn't have did that by my own strength or in my own doing. It was quite literally me and my mom growing up. And so I wasn't even there when she died. I was at school. And I used to call my mom like all the time. And people from college, they will joke and be like, if we see Vanessa on the phone, we know she's like 95% of the time she's talking to her mama. And I was leaving work and it was early in the morning and I called and Deputy Watkins answered the phone and like very coldly, not an ounce of empathy or compassion, was like, who is this? And I was like, this is Vanessa. And oh, what's your relationship to Fanny Gomez? And I was like, that's my mom. Oh, well, you need to come home right now because she's dead. Like, that's exactly how he said it. Like, huh? Excuse me? This is a joke. I thought it was her boyfriend like playing a joke on me. I was like, you can stop now. No, it was real. And I ended up taking off a month and a half off of school, but I knew I had to graduate. My mother would come out of her grave if I didn't graduate. So I had to pull it together. I had to pull it together, and I still graduated on time. I graduated summa cum laude, and I didn't even know. My program director submitted my thesis to the honors college without telling me, and so I found out graduation day that I was graduating with honors, and I didn't even have like the little like tassels or whatever because nobody told me. And then I went on to grad school and got my master's. So my bachelor's and my master's are both in athletic training with emphasis in biomechanics because I was a science nerd. Um, and for a really long time, I just wanted to make my mom proud. Um, I think at this point in my life, I know that she is proud. And so that's more shifted to what am I capable of? You know, I still grieve. It's been a long time, not gonna lie, but I don't get the luxury of calling my mom on Mother's Day, right? I don't, there's a lot of luxuries I don't have with that. But I also try not to make it my whole personality, you know?
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say to people who may have experienced similar situations as you and, still are pushing through?
Keep going. It's not going to be linear. It's not going to be perfect. Even in 15 years, you're still going to cry, and that's okay. I want to encourage, though, I don't, obviously, everyone's situations are different. I think for me specifically, for a really long time, I just remembered everything that went wrong, and I stopped remembering everything that she did right. And so a few years ago, on her birthday, I started a new tradition where I would buy her a dozen roses, and I would go to one of the bridges around here, and I would audibly, like out loud, say a happy memory that I remember, and then throw a rose in the water until all 12 were in the water. Because yeah, my childhood was really hard, and we didn't grow up with a lot, but I also, after losing her, really painted my childhood with a shit brick. And it kind of just, for a long time, I almost created this mental block of like everything that was happy and everything that I celebrated and and that didn't do me justice, but it didn't do her justice. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm sitting here and had the audacity to open this business because of her. Because that woman had audacity. She moved to this country when she was 16 years old, didn't know anybody, had to learn a new language, had to hustle in New York City, ended up working at the Kango factory. So everyone, when I was in elementary school, everyone thought we had money because I had like Kango backpacks, Kango hats. And I was just like, no, my mom works at the factory. But had to hustle her way along. And music, everything here at Flow in the City is so musically driven. And a part of that is because music is so big for us. My mom listened to music to learn English.
Oh,
she listened to Roberta Flack. She listened to Diana Ross. She listened to Michael Jackson, and these artists helped her learn English. And I had to, when in this new process of learning how to celebrate her, rather than just remembering everything that did wrong. When she would clean the house, she would do the Thriller dance while vacuuming. Like that's a thing, because these incredible artists helped her learn English, helped her assimilate to this country. So yeah.
And you said music is a big part here at Flow, and I have the luck of following you, so I know like there's like music nights, and you do like a music. This is what was played and stuff. So how do you tie that in and bring that back?
It's the energy that music brings. Music is universal. Music has the ability to unite people through emotion, and so it's a part of the way that we celebrate culture here is through music, whether it's through a specific genre or a specific artist, and we try to make it a complete experience. Like one of our former instructors, she's now a full-time therapist. Shout out Rach. She loves Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator is Nigerian, and so is she. So we did, when Tyler the Creator dropped his last album, we did Tyler the Creator Pilates, but then we served jollof rice and plantain. And we did the same thing. Cardi B, when she dropped her album, we did a Cardi B class. And then this back corner of the studio, I turned it into a bodega.
Okay.
And I cooked up everybody chopped cheeses and bacon, egg, and cheeses. And I had Oots chips and I had quarter waters and like really made that feel like a corner of New York. And we have a lot of East Coasters that come here. And so there was just a lot. You could see how much joy it brought people, but also people who aren't familiar with that, specific cultural nuance. Like they tasted their first chopped cheese and they were like, this shit's delicious, you know? And like that's kind of how we do things. Like, yes, I do yoga and I'm active and I do all, and I will still eat a chopped cheese.
I need to come to one of those events. I did not know y'all did that, and that's so
Yes.
cool.
I don't even know when. Well, our next event is sold out, but we'll have food on the helipad.
When is that?
July 11th.
Flow in the City? Me, like as we're like closing out, can you show me like the perfect day? Can you like reenact the perfect day that would happen at Flow in the City?
Okay, so one of my favorites we did last year. Last year I did this, I don't want to call it a campaign. It wasn't a campaign. But you know when Instagram dropped the little notes thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I just asked the note. I was like, what's on your R&B playlist? Mm-hmm. And so many people responded. And I turned that into a playlist and then we played it at Thanksgiving. We had a Thanksgiving Day class and we played it there. And then because it was Thanksgiving Day, we had like this light snacks. I brought fruit and I brought like sparkling apple cider because I'm not, we got to save up our appetite for dinner. But then we did the same thing right before Christmas Eve. I asked, what's on your reggaeton playlist? Influx of responses. So on Christmas Eve, I turned all those responses into a playlist. And then I cooked up plátanos and I brought humex, which is like this Mexican juice. And then one of our members, her mom was in town and she had a crock pot full of pozole. And so she brought that to the studio. And so afterwards, we had this class full of people. And then afterwards, people are just pouring pozole into their bowls and eating plátanos. And it's just like, and then somebody else brought tamales. And I was like, it was just so cool. Like everyone was enjoying and everyone just like, super flavorful. And you could just see the happiness on everyone's faces, breaking bread and being surrounded by food and by community. And even the people like there were a couple people who had never had a plátano before.
And I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to make you some. I have to make you some. And so they didn't know. And so they took a plate and he gave it to his daughter and he was like, this is actually really good. And so it's those moments are so special to me. And I think like that's my favorite. I get to go home happy after that.
I love that. Nice. Well, thank y'all for, I don't know how to end it out. But this is Flow in the City. I hope y'all enjoyed that interview because this is a great place. You should definitely check it out. Do you have any upcoming events or anything you want to share with people of Portland?
Pull up. No,
no, for real.
We do have some things. We love to take advantage of summer here because we have to fight to get good weather in Portland. So just follow us on Instagram, Flow in the City Yoga. Follow us on TikTok, Flow in the City. And, just stay in the know what we got going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.